we want to use the film as a tool to educate young people and the general public that the media, the social media and the internet in general could be a good tool when used properly, and it could be a killer element if it's not.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SPM Buzz. My good name is Miss Kithinchi, and tonight we are attending Terrorist, the film premiere right here at Diamond Plaza. Now, we can't wait to see what they have done on this film. Of course, it's a bold story, very daring, and we know it's going to be a little bit different, locally created and made right here with a cast and crew coming from Kenya. Stay tuned as we get to watch this bold story that is going to be pushing the art limits of the culture. So I would want to show you the look and feel of the premiere, that is the Terrorist, the film, as we get to speak to a couple of people just to hear what their expectations of this film is. Follow me. As you can see, we have the red carpet right here. Check this out, Terrorist World Premiere, okay? Of course, courtesy of Safari Media Africa, who have called us here to see what kind of work they have been working on. Local production, great talent on this film. Stay tuned on SPM Buzz. The Terrorist film premiere, and right here with me is the producer of the film. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. What's your name?
My name is Stella K.
Stella, what was the most inspirational part about shooting this film, and what kept you going?
Indie filmmaking is not easy. So every day, especially most of the time what happens, the first day of the shoot is a lot of problems. But what keeps me going is the fact that as Kenyans, we need better quality, better movies, better stories, and we'll not take it up to one person to give us all the good stories. Some of us need to take up that space and just do the good thing. Yeah.
I mean, I know as a producer, getting to oversee the entire project doesn't really be easy. What was the most challenging part?
The most challenging part is casting, because also in Kenya we don't have a lot of actors and actresses. So it happened that one of our cast, an actor, was in another film. So on the last day of our film, that's when they were starting the shoot of their day one. And there was miscommunication in between. So you have a whole film, but you don't have the last day. And the last day is the heavy bit.
Yeah.
So we had to wait up until I think 3 p.m. Then we finished around 1 a.m. But I'm so glad that everyone on my team was very patient, and the cast were also very patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, because ikazi inahitaji a lot of patience.
Hey, it does. Now, for someone that would want to watch this film, tell them why they should.
Why they should is because, like, especially a lot of young people in the demographic of, like, say 18 to 29, like, we are a lot on the online space, and sometimes you're just one click away from either murder or jail. Simple as that. Yeah. And sometimes you don't know, like, the things you involve yourself in. Unadhani wewe ndio mbaya, but kuna watu wabaya zaidi kukuliko. Yeah.
All right, last.
So that's why they should really look forward to watching it, because I think we tackled a lot of, most of our films, especially in Safari Media, have always been real life stories and something that is happening on the ground. Sisi tulisa tunaipeleka real life. Yeah.
I like that. Last question. What is the most daring thing that you have done this year?
Daring thing I've done this year? Actually, maybe we just backtrack it. The daring things I've done since last year is making films.
Okay.
My profession is in journalism. And then, like, after COVID, a lot of things happened. So I went into, like, silent influencing kidogo, but film, imenitest. Saturn has really put me on the pan.
Yeah.
So after maybe those people that say, into Suju from the frying pan into the fire, all of those I've tested.
Through. Now, for someone who's probably looking forward to being a producer, please talk to them. Tell them, what are they expecting to see?
You need a lot of patience, and you need a lot of you just need a lot. You need to be quick on action. You need to think on the spot. You need to think immediately something doesn't go right. Stories are wacha nifikirie, wacha nikae, nitajua kesho. It doesn't happen in indie filmmaking. You have to be quick. Everything is quick. Actions, thoughts, decisions, everything is quick. So you really have to. Then, other than being quick, you also have to be patient, because sometimes unafanya vitu on the rush and you're like, okay. And then a lot of people will test your patience, from cast to crew to netizens to everybody. They will test your patience.
There you have it, upcoming producer. Hakuna rahisi, lakini ukitaka kufanya lazima you put in the work. Thank you, Stella. Congratulations on the premiere of your movie. We can't wait to see what you guys have done there.
Thank you so much. I'm really humbled.
All right, guys, we are still at the movie premiere, Terrorist. And right here with me is...
Dan Cuff Brown.
Who are you on this film?
I'm the writer-director of the film.
Amazing. So what was the inspiration behind Terrorist? Because this is not something we get to see every other day.
Terrorist is a connotation of what the movie implies in the story. It's a story of how the digital space has turned to be a whole different thing than what we thought of it. And it's, to a larger extent, if it's not well used or well manned, it can turn out to be a nightmare.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I love the concept. Now, the choice of cast that we can see on the poster, why them? Because we can see new faces. There must be a reason. Why them?
Why them? First, we need to grow the industry. We can't have only established artists being given roles in movies every now and then.
Yeah.
Then that way it means we will stagnate the industry because we are not given platform to new faces, new voices for us to keep the industry going. So that is why we are trying to do a mix-up of well-established artists and also in conjunction with the upcoming artists. Yeah.
Lead actress, a lady, you know, something that would probably have not expected when we have Terrorist as a theme, or rather as the name or the title of the film. Why Dinah? Why her?
Dinah is a prolific actress. For those who know her, they know how well versed she is with her craft, and so it wasn't a hard choice. It was easy to settle on her because we know she would carry the story. When you're telling a very complex story that needs a very dynamic lead character, you need someone who will embody that character and get into the shoes of the character and really portray the character. And so Dinah was a perfect fit for that because we felt that she had the right look, the right expertise, and the right click for that role. Yeah.
This film seems very intentional for you. What emotion did you want it to spark, or what lesson did you want to leave?
Every story has to be intentional if you want to talk to the soul of whoever is watching the movie, because you're telling a human story about a human feeling. And so you need to be very intentional because you want to click certain nerves in whoever is watching.
Yeah.
And so that is why I took it very personal and told it from a very personal perspective, because we live in a time of digital rampage, I would say, where there's freedom of expression, there's access to platforms, and so these spaces could be a very good thing in a normal scenario, but they would end up being detrimental if they are not manned in a certain way. And so we want to show how young people are maneuvering the space and how it would end up being detrimental if they are not given the right track of how to maneuver the internet. And so Terrorist as such is not about bombing places and massacring people around. It's about the terror that would come from even the thought of I could use the internet as a weapon. And so we want to use the film as a tool to educate young people and the general public that the media, the social media and the internet in general could be a good tool when used properly, and it could be a killer element if it's not.
Yeah, that's a brilliant storyline. Now, you've just mentioned that you have a plan to how to show this film across the country. For someone who is interested, wondering now, this sounds interesting, how can I find it? Where will this be?
Okay, we are intending to take the movie on the road after the screenings at the cinema. We want to first screen it across different counties within Kenya, and after that we want to screen it in different schools, learning institutions. It's rated 16, so probably in high schools, Form 3s, Form 4s, within those age limits, and also now predominantly within tertiary institutions and institutions of higher learning, universities across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So where should they be kept informed? What is the page they should follow?
Follow us on different social media platforms. First, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Safari Media KE, where you can get more info on the BTS and information about where it's coming next. You can also follow us on Facebook, Safari Media, like our page, and you will keep tabs on what is happening. On TikTok, we are there still as Safari Media KE. Same with Instagram. You can follow the movie Terrorist, the movie, on Instagram, or Safari Media on Instagram, or can follow my personal page, Dan Cuff Brown, on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you'll get to know more about what is coming up, when, where, and how.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last question. This is a very bold story. What is the boldest thing you've done this year, or daring thing?
Telling this story and calling it terrorists, for heaven's sake.
I know.
Because first of all, it's very hard to do film in this country.
Yes.
It's very tough. For indie filmmakers, they can tell you you're very close to a heart attack each time you take a pen and paper to put down a story. Because one, you don't know whether it will be brought to the screen, you don't know where you'll get the funding, you don't know whether people will buy into your idea, and even when you're lucky enough to have done it, you don't know whether you'll get people to watch it, because it's not a guarantee. So we are very grateful for the people who've kept supporting us. We have been doing film for a while now. We have films on platforms like Netflix, on Tubi, across the United States. We have films, web series showing on our social media platforms and YouTube. And we are very grateful and thankful to the Kenyan community and the global viewers for supporting our endeavor. And we hope that they'll keep supporting every other Kenyan creative who's putting their mind into doing something. It's never easy.
Yeah.
Never easy.
Yeah. All right. Let's hope this is going to happen, because it's definitely going to build our creative economy. Okay. Thank you so much for inviting us, and congratulations on this premiere.
We are very grateful for your support.
Asante sana.
Thank you very much.
All right.
SPM Buzz.